I'm looking. All right. So here we are. We are at $1 Million Monday. If you don't know where you are right now, it's a great place to be because tonight we're talking about one of my favorite topics, which is manifesting and manifesting money, to be specific. And I've been involved in this kind of conversation and study for a little while now, and so glad to be part of sharing what I know and sharing the excitement about it. And I know what I know to be true about all this. And here comes my friend Myra into the VIP room, just as I get ready to talk to you about who is sponsoring tonight's $1 Million Monday. And $1 Million Monday tonight is being sponsored by Path Montessori. And Path Montessori, for those of you who are tuning in Salisbury, North Carolina, where I live, is an amazing school. It is serving children from, you tell me if I'm getting this right, Myra, because Myra just signed on with me and she's the owner and the CEO. 3-year-olds, right, to 6th grade, correct?
Yes. 6 weeks.
6
to
weeks.
6th grade.
Oh, please forgive me. 6 weeks, guys. 6 weeks old kids, children, babies to 6th grade. Yes. And at Path Montessori, just so you know, this is like, we're talking magic tonight. So this is really a great fit. It is a magical place. It is unschool. It is unschool for school, right? So you've got children there who are learning at their own pace. Their interests guide what they do and how they learn. And they're learning. So for instance, if you, like, I always liked cookies, right? When I was little, and I loved being in the kitchen to bake cookies. And if I would have gone to a Montessori school, it would have been totally cool because I would have gone to bake those cookies. And the teacher would have taught me about math by measuring how much flour and sugar and all that stuff to put in. And then I would have been taught like how to process things and think through things. I mean, that whole experience of making cookies, you could think to yourself how beautiful that is in terms of teaching a child from their own passion, from what they love. So this is school for the unschooled. And think about how beautiful this is to begin at 6 weeks old, this experience, this loving, joyous experience. And the other thing about Path Montessori is it's a you call it a farm school, right? Farm school.
Yes.
In the woods, there's you know, they have crops and they have I think you guys have pigs, right? Pigs and chickens and you know, all of the stuff, so the kids can grow up knowing their environment, experiencing their environment, loving their touch upon the earth. It's just an amazing place. And I cannot I love the school. That's why I'm talking about it right now. That's why I'm giving a shout out right now. I'm so glad. I didn't even know until a little while ago that Myra's coming on. I was giving it a shout out anyway. I'm going to talk about it a lot more. Let me give you their phone number, and I'm going to let Myra just say a couple of words because we want to get into manifesting money. And if you don't want to say anything, that's fine too. The phone number for Path Montessori is 704-642-2211. I really wish that was a 22222 because that's such a magic number, but 22 is good enough. 704-642-2211. And you tell them that Paula sent you. You tell them when you call and get a tour, you go get a tour. I'm going to be there next week on Wednesday giving a tour. So I'll remind you when we get together on $1 Million Monday. So I'll be there acting up. You know how I act, right? I'll be there having fun during the tour. And I want you guys to check into this. By the way, if you do not live in Rowan County, if you live somewhere in North Carolina or you live somewhere in the world, you can still call them and ask to talk to Myra because Myra is helping other schools get started. Isn't this magic? It needs to be everywhere. So I just had to give a shout out today. It is absolutely being, we're being sort of supported by Path, but I'm supporting Path back. So super glad to be on today. And we're going to move forward. Anything else you want to add as we move forward in creating more magic, Myra?
No, just thank you. That was beautiful. Thank you so much. Yeah.
I love that school. I tell you, my son, just a really quick story. I was telling him about, he had never really been known about Montessori, and I wish he would have, right? I mean, I wish that he would have school, he would have just, I mean, any child will blossom there, but he would have blossomed. He loves outside. He loves animals. He loves all the things. And anyway, I was telling him about the school, and he said, so kids go there until they're in the 6th grade. And then in the 7th grade, they got to go somewhere else. And I was like, yeah, they got it right now. They got to go somewhere else. And he was like, man, that must have sucked. He said, after being there in that environment, and then you got to go somewhere else. Oh, but anyway, I totally agree. It's a beautiful, beautiful place. Again, 704-642-2211. Give them a call, set up a tour, and tell somebody else about it. If you don't have little kids at home, if you're not a grandparent, tell somebody else. She will help anybody, anywhere, worldwide. We want to spread the word about Montessori, but we do have places for your kids, your little ones, and all the way up to 6th grade at Yak and Path Montessori. I think it's specifically 3-year-olds to, you have openings for 3-year-olds to 6-year-olds right now?
Right, 3 to 6, we're opening a 2nd classroom, so.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And if you want to teach in that environment, for heaven's sakes, give a call, right?
Yeah.
Talk. Okay. Well, let's go on. Let's move on into what, besides this magic of the school, and what better way to sort of have a segue. We're going to talk about the must knows. We're going to talk about manifesting tonight and manifesting money. I mean, 2 of my favorite things, right? I get so excited about this. I was sleepy a little while ago, and I knew the minute I turned on the computer and I started talking about manifesting, I'd be all jazzed up. So, by the way, Myra's on with me in the VIP room, and any of you that are part of the Creating the Feminine Economy membership that we have through my organization are welcome to be in the VIP room with me, make comments like Myra did, and get coached. So you get a Zoom link every single week, and you can just step on into the Zoom room. But you can also watch it on Facebook. I'm right now live on Creating the Feminine Economy Facebook page. So let's dive into I'm going to see if I can see the feed here. So I got some backlash coming to me. Janora's on with me. Hey, Janora, honey. I haven't talked to you in a long time. So glad you're here manifesting, giving some energy to the magic. So number 1, when you want money, when you want to manifest money, does anybody want to manifest money who's on this feed right now? If you want to manifest money, you need to first get clear in a broad sense about what you want. Okay. This sounds like a really oh, okay, I get that. Why are you even talking about that? No. Do you know how many people come to me? Because I do have a lot of expertise in terms of, being able to fill your pockets with money and have it rain down and have all kinds of magic things happen, which we would call magic, but are, totally okay to happen. So many people come to me because of my expertise, and they tell me they want to create something, but they sit and complain about what they don't want. They're so disconnected about being able to dream and being able to be involved with themselves and their ideas and their imagination about what they do want, that they can't even tell the story. So I'm changing this for you. If you want to manifest money, the first thing you got to know is you got to be clear about what you want. Now, you don't have to delineate exactly like down to the dime and how you want it to come to you. That's the way to kill it. You just want to be clear in a broad sense. I want to have enough money to pay all my bills, to go on vacation, have luxury, all that stuff. I want to feel like I'm abundant at all times. I want to have, or you could just say, $50,000, right? But don't get into the defining how it's going to come to you. That's a downside. So just get clear on what you want in a broad sense. That's the first must know. That's how it all starts. It's basically like, if you think about going to like New York City, and you were going to take a cab somewhere, and you decided you were going to ride around the city and go somewhere. You decided first you wanted to go to the zoo. So you jump in a cab and you say, I want to go. The cabbie says, where do you want to go? And you say, I want to go to the zoo. And then you say, wait, no, I want to go shoe shopping on Fifth Avenue. No, I want to go see the ABC studios. No. And if you keep doing that and you're not clear, that cabbie is probably going to put you out of that cab. You're wasting my time. Now, the universe wouldn't do that. God wouldn't do that, but you cannot get blessed if you don't know what you're asking for. How can you be blessed? It's sort of like waiting for you to give the message. So get clear on a broad sense of what you want. The second must know about manifesting money is you have to feel good about it coming. Feel good about it happening for you. Now, this is a kicker for a lot of people. And let's admit that this can be challenging because especially money, if you're overdrawn or you don't have enough money and you know, to meet your bills, the first thing you want to think about is what? You want to think about, oh no, I don't have enough money. How am I going to do it? You want to come up with all the ways that you could possibly solve that. And what happens when you get into that mode is you get icky inside. You're inside. You can tell when you're not exactly manifesting the way you could be when you're feeling icky inside. If you're feeling anxious, you're feeling worried, that is not helping you to bring about what you want. All right. So when you have not enough money and you have that situation, the thing that we're taught to do is focus on it, focus hard on it, try to figure it out, try to solve it. And the more you focus on anything, the more you are creating of it. So that icky feeling, that staying up late at night. And by the way, I have done all this. So, you know, we're all human. So being in company of each other and talking through this and being honest about it is very helpful. So I want you to feel good about it happening. So what you got to do is you got to get out of focusing on what's wrong, and you got to kind of play some games and think about it being there. Like, you know, what I do with money especially is I'll get into a happy dance and I'll close my eyes and I'll imagine money flying all around me. And I'll be like, yeah, money, 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 money. And I just kind of sit there with my eyes closed and I imagine the dollar bills and I imagine it like spraying all over the place. And I imagine me grabbing some and putting it in my pocket. And I get in a very different place, a place what those of us who manifest a lot call receiving, which that's a whole nother topic. Many women are not very good at receiving, but we want to start feeling good, feeling how we want to feel that it has happened. It's called the law of assumption. You assume that it has happened already. And I want to admit to you, this is the kicker. Point 2 is the kicker because it's not easy. It's simple, but it's not easy. So you want to set up whatever imaginative thing, playful thing, and sit in that and feel good in it as long and as for best, however you can. All right. Set up how to feel good. The dance, the money dance I talked about, or if it's so hard for you, you don't even have to necessarily focus on what, you know, the money. You can focus on something else that makes you feel good. Flowers, your cat, whatever. Get in the feeling of hopefulness, feeling good, and receiving. All right. So that's number 2. Number 3, and this is a big mistake that a lot of people make, is don't set a time limit on what you want. All right. That's kind of getting into the sort of trying to manage it. And it also gets you back into focusing on, oh, it's not here. If it's, you know, if I only have 30 days until this comes, that means, oh, now I'm at 28 days. And you're really starting to focus on not having it. And again, that's going back to that icky feeling, that worried feeling, that anxious feeling. Many of us who create quite frequently call it lack-based thinking. So don't set a time limit. Trust the universe has its timeline. I know it's hard, believe me. It's simple yet not easy, right? So trust that there's a time limit in the scheme of things. If you know, you can trust that God's got the answer, that it's all working out for you. You can even say the mantra, everything is always working out for me. It's in God's great timing, you know, but don't get so wound up in that time limit. The time limit that you're thinking about is not the same as the universe's time. And if you start messing around in there, you get the energy messed up. And we've got to have some good energies to generate money. The vibration of money is one of the top level vibrations. It's right up there with love. So if you can carry around love in your heart and gratitude in your heart, you're closer than when you're getting all grunged out, right? Okay, so don't set a time limit. That's number 3. I'll go over these again. Are y'all enjoying this? Is this helpful? Hopefully it's helpful. Let me know if it is. Throw me some hearts or let me know it's helpful. Number 4 is I want you to stay out of the gap. And what that means is it's sort of like I said earlier, feel good about it coming. but don't get into, there's a place sort of, you can even like think about it this way, like you're right here right now. You don't, maybe you're right here right now, like your bank draft is overdrawn, or or you want more money, and it's you want it, and you feel like you need it. And then there's that place over there on the other side of the room that is what you want, right? You want the 50,000, you want the 1 million, whatever. And in between that is a gap. There's a literal space that you physiologically and mentally and in your visualization need to step over. And the mistake that most people make is they fall in the gap. And so how do you know if you're in the gap? You've got to stay out of it. Is you start saying, why isn't it come? Maybe this doesn't work for me. I try to do this, and why isn't it working? Why does it work for other people and not me? Blah, blah, blah. All of that is gap language, right? So if you are feeling, if you're doing that, what is happening is you're probably like swimming, what they call swimming upstream. It's harder to swim upstream. Your energy is like all gooped up, and you're pushing, and you can feel that. So what we want to do is anything at this point to stop swimming upstream. So you've got to start feeling a little bit better. Somehow, some way. You don't have to change it from where you are now to joy, but you can do what you need to do to feel just a little bit better. Maybe you don't think about the situation, just like I said before. Maybe thinking about like that $1 you have and how abundant it is, being all thankful for everything you have in your life on purpose. I have air to breathe, I have food to eat, I have, being as thankful you can. Those kind of things will keep you out of the gap. And there's usually, this is a high level manifestation technique that I'm sharing with you right now. There's usually one key thought that you think, that's your thought, that keeps you away from being able to manifest whatever it is, but particularly money. There's usually one key thought. And like for me, it's, why doesn't this work for me? This never works for me. That is my key thought. And what my key thought will do, and you have one too, if you can think of your key thought that you start bringing into this, put it in the chat right now, because that's a way to start blowing it, blasting the block, that block, if you will. But that key thought is keeping you from flowing easily downstream. It's what they call a kingpin. It's the piece that's keeping the flow from going. So you want to think and listen for those thoughts, and then tell them, I'm not thinking you anymore. You don't matter, right? And get yourself in a better place, a better place, a better place. Okay. Now we're going over this stuff very, very quickly, because like I promise you that we're always together for 30 minutes or so. Take what you're getting right now and get excited about it. Feel good, feel in a good energy, and feel like the flow, right? That's a great thing that you can be doing. The more that you get into that, the more you're receiving. Now I'm going to actually tell you 6 things, because I can't just tell you 5. There's a whole bunch of things to say, but I want to tell you 2 things that'll take you shipwreck, that it'll absolutely shipwreck your manifestation. Are you ready to hear these? The shipwrecks to your manifestation is 1, being in resentment. This is a must know. This is a must know. If you are resenting somebody or having those arguments in your head, like, you're getting ready to go to work and you think about somebody that you're mad at, and you kind of have this argument with them in your head before you even see them, you make it all up. Or, something you think might happen, and you're like pre-rehearsing your response to something you think might happen. All of that stuff is creating real stopping of the energy of receiving for you. And it'll actually damage your ability to receive money, to manifest money faster than your debt ceiling will. So getting out of resentments is so important. And that's, that heart space, going and blessing them instead, loving the person instead. When you hear the argument, if it's, you haven't even had the conversation yet, just be like, I haven't even had this conversation. Let's let this go, and kind of laugh at yourself. Staying out of resentments is one of the biggest must knows that you got to know. And many people hear all this other stuff about imagine what you want, get your energy going, be happy, but they don't talk about the stuff that you're doing on a day-to-day basis that's programming yourself to not be able to receive. And one of them is resentments. The other piece is kind of connected to it, but I'm gonna call it number 6. If it's too big, like this whole situation's too big, right? Like say you owe a large amount of money and you need to really give it to the banker in so many days. And you just keep you back up off of the gap, you ought not to be doing it, but you keep just being sucked back into it. I mean, our society gives messages about being realistic and, solving it and all that stuff that does suck us back into it. We're taught and conditioned to suck back into it. So if it's a really big thing, and most of the time we're making most of our things bigger than they are, but you're putting a lot of energy into how big it is. You're thinking about it a lot. What you think about is where your energy goes. So you're thinking about it a lot. You're thinking about the fear of it. You're anxious. You're worried. You got a lot of grungy stuff in your belly about it. And it just is like consuming you and you feel like you can't let it go. I hear this a lot from people that are trying to manifest and follow these must knows that I give. It's like, but I can't change the thought. Here's something you can do that will, it'll change the energy. All right. And it also, you can't think about these two things at once, the same time. So what I want you to do when that grunge stuff is going on and it's way too big and your head's just all, falling into it, the gap and everything, is I want you to go pray about somebody else. Literally pray for somebody else. Pray for somebody else's well-being. Pray for, somebody, and it's better maybe at this moment that you don't go pray for somebody you're mad at, because that resentment stuff can get kicked up too. But go pray for somebody, a neighbor down the street who isn't doing well, or, some situation that happened that you really care about the person, or, just pray. And you might be 2 or 3 people. I have like a little prayer list. I pull that out and I'll just get involved in blessing them and blessing. And if you can really get good with this, you could start blessing the situation too. But if you can't, and it's too grungy and it's too hard, bless other people, bless that. And what that does is it changes immediately the energy of what's going on. It changes the magic. It changes the flow. That blessing of other people, that not being so involved with yourself, with thinking about this thing all the time, creates its own stuff that is just undeniable. And you'll start seeing almost immediately some movement. It really works fast. Okay. So I want you to start doing that stuff. And Beverly says, hi, Beverly. Beverly came on and she said, if you need somebody to pray for, you can always pray for me. And you know what, Beverly, I will tell you, I prayed for you today. So there. But praying the blessings, dear Lord, let her be blessed. Just give her blessings. However you pray, you could just say universe, whatever. I use God, I use dear Lord. So yes, thank you for the hearts. And this is like, you can do this all the time, but it's a really great thing to pull out of your toolbox, your manifesting toolbox. You're creating money and how you want to live and live and enjoy in peace. Is when you're really feeling grungy, you're feeling like it's too big and you just can't get your head out of it. Stop thinking about it, think about somebody else and pray for them and bless them. All right. So beautiful. It's so good. All right. So those are my rules. Those are my must knows about manifesting money in 30 minutes or less. There's so much more to this. There is so much more of the blessings of the universe, of how God works in the middle of this. There's so much more to receiving, to the love that is part of this, that all of us are always in a sea of major, major abundance and blessing. It is the way we're thinking and what we're focusing on that takes us away from that. So if we can get out of our own way, and I just gave you some tools to get back into the flow and get out of your own way, that is so helpful. All right. I want you to consider a program that I'm doing. It's called Manifesting Mastery. And it is, you can look at those words in many different ways, manifesting and mastery itself, but I want you to look at doing this because I am going to be teaching you over 3 weeks the spiritual components, the laws of the universe components, and how the exact steps that I take to manifest money, opportunities, great clients. Look at you guys all talking to me about, there's some great people on here that follow and are in our world, and it expands and it expands. How to create this sort of this sea of goodness, of abundance all around you, and live in it and carry it forward so that people are happy around you, so that you're serving people from a place of love. In this Manifesting Mastery, I am teaching the exact steps that I take. And bigger than that, I'm making sure you know it. All right. And you use it. And it's kind of like, how do you use your magic wand? 101. How do you focus your energy to create what you want, to have what you want? How do you get focused even? Opportunities, all of that stuff. So I'm going to put in the feed the link for how you sign up for that. It starts next Thursday at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and it'll meet for 3 Thursdays. And you will absolutely master your ability to manifest and to create the life you want in true blessing and happiness. Because really the reason we want money, and really the reason we want, whatever it is we want, is because we want to be happy and we want to be peaceful and we want to have a joyful life. And so, that's the outcome we want. So all the other stuff creates that. I'm going to teach you how to do that, and that'll be the outcome. So I'm going to put the link in here. I don't have it right in front of me right now. I'm going to grab it really fast in the feed. For those of you that are on the replay, please hit replay and say that you've listened to it, and go click the link and go sign up. The investment is not much. I just got like divine guidance to be there with you and to be in this group. It's a mastermind group and a teaching group, and you are welcome to be part of that. But before I leave tonight, I'm going to remind you to get in touch with Yak and Path, another magic place for your children to be, where they can be surrounded by abundance and prosperity from the time they're 6 weeks old. 704-642-2211 is their phone number to schedule a tour and learn more. And also I'm going to give you the 5 steps that I covered tonight, really 6. 4 of them are what to do, and 2 of them are what not to do. So number 1, get clear about what you want in a broad sense. And the clarity is not ever formed in the form of a complaint. All right. So it has to be like positive, what you want, what jacks you, what makes you excited and passionate. Number 2, feel good about it happening. Get yourself in a place where you can actually imagine it. 10 out of 10, you expect it to happen, and then feel good about it. Dance with your hands up, with money come in, that imagination. Number 3, be careful of setting time limits. The universe knows, God knows his timing, the magic timing here, the blessed timing. If you get in the middle of that, what starts to happen is you start again, getting in lack base, getting out of abundance and saying, I've only got 28 days. Oh no, you get all whipped up again. So leave that time limit out, and it's not easy. I'm telling you guys, I know this isn't easy. I can meet with you and help you structure this for your business and your life, and be manifesting while you're also growing in the 3-day world. All right. Stay out of the gap. Why isn't it coming? Why doesn't it work for me? All those kind of why, how are gap statements. So stay out of that. Turn your mind to something else. The 2 things to not do is to stay out of resentment. You want to, if you hear yourself having those fights with somebody in your head before you've even seen them, Get out of that. That is hurting you so badly in terms of receiving money. And then the other thing is, if this is so big and you're so focused on it and you can't get out of it, go pray for somebody else. Those are really, really, really great 101 techniques for how to manage your magic wand. It'll help you reset your focus, and your focus is so important. So is your energy, and so is your feeling. Okay. All right. I hope this has been helpful. Throw me some hearts if it has. I'm going to put the link into the Manifesting Mastery, where you can share all of this with me, and I'll share my exact strategies of how I get to where I want to go. Thank you for the hearts, Myra. She's in the feed. And I will put the link in the feed for the Manifesting Mastery, and we will see you next week, or in other places where I see you quite frequently. I'm Paula Boland. I'm a master business and mindset coach with a lot of emphasis on spiritual energy and manifestation. I'm at the intersection of your spirituality, your strategy, and your mindset. We'll talk soon. Have a great evening.